We got the 3 over here.
Ball. Pass is picked off. Jay Bellamy made the pick. And Bellamy's still on his feet. To the 15, he's going to score. "84 yards for Jay Bellamy."
Mike Holmgren said, "I guarantee that we'll be better." Here you see Bellamy. He just got the jump there. He read that out. He was looking back at Kurt Warner, and he got a jump on that ball. He's a safety, and he jumped. And then right there, he had to delay a little while just to let Kurt Warner, who was the only guy that could tackle him, miss. He had patience there, and then he got by him and got his touchdown. Watch Jay Bellamy here. He's looking right at this angle at Kurt Warner to see what Warner's looking at. Warner is looking over in this area, and that gives Jay Bellamy the jump. Watch him get the jump right there, and he picks that thing off, and then he has to have a little patience right here as he gets here and wait for Kurt Warner to pass, and then he has a touchdown.
He's got a bunch down to the bottom of the screen, so they're going to try and run some kind of a pass combination with those 3 guys to free somebody up.
Straight back, and it's intercepted, and this is a touchdown. Willie Williams. The first big mistake for Ryan Leaf.
And the big thing is the receiver is not even looking at this ball that Ryan throws to him. The bunch is down below. You can't see it here. He's looking there. They do a good job of covering. As the crossing route comes by, Michael Ricks turns to run upfield, and Willie Williams just runs underneath the ball.
A 69-yard interception return for a touchdown. 2 big plays from Seattle, and that has been the difference. Ryan getting a
little insult to injury there by Anthony Simmons.
All because of you and Steve Young.
trying to take care of our buddy.
Gus Farah in trouble in the pocket, holds the ball a little too long, loses it, picked up. Sinclair down the sideline. Look at the speed of the big fella, all the way into the end zone. Touchdown, Seattle. Anthony Simmons knocked it out of Gus's hands, and Michael Sinclair turned on the afterburners. A 63-yard run.
And what a heads up by Mike Sinclair, and you can see he's a little out of gas. Too tired to high five. Let's watch Simmons come in here, 51, run past the center. Tom Nayland's block, does a great job once, twice, comes back a third time. That ball's loose, and there's Sinclair, and he doesn't fall on it. He picks it up. Tony Jones, the left tackle, giving chase. But no way will you be run down by an offensive lineman, and Sinclair, big-time play.
Mike Anderson over the right side. Fumble! Picked up! Touchdown, Chad Brown! Oh, my goodness!
So 2nd and 15. The penalty and the incomplete pass, and that's intercepted, and it could be a Seattle touchdown. George Kuntz, who read the play perfectly. And an inauspicious beginning as a starter for Doug Johnson.
And that's a heck of a play to call, you know, for your young quarterback to start the game. Everybody expected, we expected to see Jamal Anderson running the ball, and George Kuntz is the middle linebacker there, and he just reads the eyes of the quarterback, steps right in front of Terrence Mathis for an easy pick and return for a touchdown. George Kuntz looked pretty good there.
Score and an interception return for a touchdown. It's 14-0.
2nd down and 8 from the 47-yard line. Matt Dominguez is in as a tight end. No catches yet for Rod Smith. Greasy with the fake and the pass. It's intercepted by Reggie Tongue. And Tongue has got a blocker ahead and a foot race. And this will be a Seattle touchdown. Reggie Tongue has his second career interception for a touchdown.
Yeah, first of all, here's Tongue right back over here. Okay, he's going to read that they're going to try to wiggle this way. He comes darting up to make the interception. But Tongue, he saw it. They were trying to get the cars well. They were trying to come across with a leak there. Greasy didn't see Tongue, as aggressive as he was, seeing the crossing pattern, coming up, make a nice pick.
Said it made his rehab easier knowing that Alexander could get the job done. Ike Charlton gets it done with the interception and the touchdown. Yards on the pick and score.
Quincy Carter just telegraphed the pass. Watch Carter. He's going to look right away. There he is, and he just throws it. And Charlton was sitting on it, just waiting. Don't get many like that are just thrown to you. I think he had it in his mind, no matter what, he was going to drop back and he was going to throw this out to Galloway. He didn't care about reading anything or anything else. This is what he was going to do. He was going to throw the out, try to get some yards, and just bam, there you go. I mean, he never looked it off. He just turned the head over there and threw it right to Charlton, and that's going to just a rookie quarterback.
Dane in the backfield. When he gets the fake from Collins, here comes the pocket, fumbling. It's loose, it's a fumble, and John Randall has got a touchdown for Seattle. His first career touchdown. And the Seahawks are back on top. For touchdown.
Yeah, John Randall's up on the top here. They just push the pocket here. They're going to try to get to the outside, and Randall and them come in. They slap the football, get on it for a touchdown. Santa Claus here for both defenses today. All right, Antonio Cochran over here. Luke Pettigrew, he's got to deal with it. He's got to come out, move his feet, and get to the outside. It's only a four-man rush. There's nothing confusing about this whatsoever. Collins in the back of the pocket. Again, Collins has fumbled 18 times. That's a whole lot of fumbles. He has to recognize that and move to the front of the pocket. Get away from that.
Oh, goodness.
Here's Gordon working his way through the middle.
That's what they needed.
And there's their spin, and inside the 5, he fumbled the football. He fumbled it ahead. It's being called a touchdown.
I tell you what, I want to see Mike Holmgren on this play because
Chad Eaton's going to have the touchdown. The question is, can you fumble it ahead into the end zone?
I don't know if from my vantage point, I don't know if he fumbled ahead. I thought he fumbled it, pitched it backwards. And if that's the case, then it's a valid play.
I'm going to have to get another look at it, but Eaton falls on the touchdown, and all of a sudden, 3:28 to go.
Watch it right here. It looks like he hits in there. The ball pops out. Sitting around like a loaf of bread. Tongue's trying to get into the end zone. Pitches it back. It's a backwards pitch.
Yep.
And this should be a valid touchdown. Yes, it is.
He just likes to set records where people can see it.
Culpepper under pressure. This one's picked off by Reggie Tongue. If he stayed in bounds, it's a touchdown.
Pass intercepted.
And there's a flag down at the end of the play. A 46-yard interception return.
Well, Randy Moss was running straight up the field on an old, they used to call a streak play. He was just flying, and Culpepper let it go, and it was short.
Holy cow.
Personal foul. After the score, number 92. It's against. This is Seattle.
That's Darius Holland.
The personal foul was on 92 of the returning team, of the intercepting team. The personal foul occurred after the touchdown. The touchdown is good. We will penalize 15 yards.
Well, it's 92 Seattle. That's King. But it hardly matters at this point. The extra point will make it 45-10. I'm almost surprised Sean Alexander didn't intercept that and run it back.
Here's the question.
Number 25 is Tongue. One, done. No, no.
Play to see if the intercepting player had stepped out of bounds.
This will be an easy call. The replay showed definitively that he did not. That was only the 6th career interception for Reggie Tongue.
Look at Reggie. The only one that's in question is not this foot now, not that one. It's this one. And watch him come back inside. That's perfect. He's in bounds all the way. Here it is again. It's right foot, not that one, not that one, this one. And that's in bounds.
Keep in mind, inside of 2 minutes, Mike Tice cannot challenge. This has to be an official review from the box.
After reviewing the play, the call on the field of being in bounds all the way and returning for a touchdown is confirmed. Touchdown, Seattle.
Tim flipping through the thesaurus prior to the game.
No, I don't do that.
Pitt loses the football. Recovered by Willie Williams. And Williams is in for the touchdown, a 24-yard return. The Seahawks take the lead on Vic's 3rd turnover today.
And this time, Warwick Dunn, who's supposed to be helping on the blitz, watch, Dunn is actually the one who knocks into Michael Vick and forces this fumble. So he knocks him into Michael Vick, and then Williams comes around. You see that? It wasn't even forced by Williams. The fumble is forced by Michael Vick's own teammate. He's still making catches, and he's still getting open on 3rd down.
The pitch to Emmett, it bobbled and lost. Randall Godfrey picks it up, and there he goes. 54 yards for the touchdown. 4 possessions, 4 turnovers for the Arizona Cardinals, 2 of which have led to touchdowns. And pending the extra point, they're going to be down by 2 touchdowns.
It is just so bad.
Well, the all-time leading rusher in NFL history.
It's just absolutely pitiful. Ray Rhodes bringing that aggressive defense. Watch Cochran get upfield. Watch D.D. Lewis get upfield. Upfield pressure. Putting the pressure on Emmitt Smith. He fumbles it. And it's Godfrey for the touchdown. That's aggressive scheme from Ray Rhodes.
Now the field position also playing a big factor early on in this 4th quarter. McCown pressured from the blind side. Gets it off. It's intercepted. Kenny Lucas into the end zone. Touchdown. Oh, we knew the Seattle defense would have to make a play with the offense struggling. And Kenny Lucas, having a breakout season, steps up and returns it for 6.
This is just a simple fact of Josh McCown coming across the field late, not seeing it clearly. Goes over the head of Freddie Jones, and there he's Ken Lucas waiting for the ball just to hit him in the chest and walk into the end zone with it.
Between those 2 cities, Daytona and Jacksonville, 90 miles apart.
Little time on the beach.
That's intercepted. Anthony Simmons, he's got a clear road for the touchdown. Simmons in his first game back after having shoulder surgery for a bone spur and missing 2 weeks, comes up with a huge play on a day where you talked about Rattay had been so on, he was way off on that one.
He absolutely was. He just misreads it, Kurt. I think the Seahawks do a nice job of really constricting the pocket and collapsing it quickly. Watch it here. It starts to degenerate immediately. And then Rattay just, it's as if he never sees Anthony Simmons drop right underneath that pass. At this play, here's Anthony Simmons. He just drops right underneath that route. An ill-advised pass by Rattay. Beautiful play by Simmons. And then how about this right here? Now here you got Ken Hamlin right here, the hammer, and you've got Anthony Simmons. Well, let's move Simmons down here because you know I like using this thing, right? But here's what happens. How about the hammer? He goes for the celebration and knocks Anthony Simmons right down.
The hammer nailing his own teammate.
Still 3 receivers. Minor remains in the backfield with a couple of timeouts. 1st and 10, 41-yard line. Feely intercepted. Michael Boulware, the rookie. Touchdown. That is the 6th time a Dolphin quarterback has had an interception return for a touchdown. Jay Feely has had 4 picks returned the other way for scores.
Tell you what, the gravity and atmosphere in this stadium just went from 100 times normal to lighter than air in about 10 seconds.
That is the 4th interception in his rookie campaign, with the extra point up and in by Josh Brown. And Michael Boulware out of Florida State, who is a 2nd-round pick and played linebacker in college, looks every bit the part of a defensive back here.
Going back to Chambers, it was Chambers on a quick slant, and Michael Boulware from his safety position steps right in front of Chris Chambers. What a nice job, Boulware watching the quarterback, knowing the route, and jumping it. Jay Feely, that gutty quarterback I was just talking about, makes the mistake, and I think it hurts a lot more inside than anything else that hurts on the outside. Here's Chambers, watch the route. Then watch Boulware right there, jump the route. Just a perfect play for only a rookie. Brother of Peter Boulware out of Florida State.
Dolphin quarterbacks Fiedler and Feely, and it bears repeating, 6 interceptions returned for touchdowns this year. Feely has had 4 of them.
Westbrook has been the man throughout the season, but right now we'll have to wait and see. 1st and 10. And that is intercepted inside the 30 by Andre Dyson. And Andre Dyson is out in front, and nobody's going to catch him. And there are no flags on the field as Dyson intercepts McMahon with 3.5 minutes to go in the opening period to make it 13-0.
I don't think that Andy Reid wanted Mike McMahon to start out throwing the ball drop back this soon. I think he wanted to have a move. Here it's just a drop back. You see Dyson reads it all the way, undercuts it, gets a jump on it there, and he's off to the races. Greg Lewis doesn't do a good job. I mean, you have to be out there and you have to fight that defender for the ball. And when he comes in, you have to be coming back and not let him undercut, not let him do that to you.
7 for 51 yards.
Short drop, intercepted again, and going all the way to the end zone will be the rookie Lofa Tatupu. And Mr. Mosi Tatupu is smiling in front of his television set right now as his young pup has just run it back 38 yards for a touchdown, the first of his career.
Yeah, you're going to see Tatupu. He's just reading the eyes. He's just going to go back and just read the eyes of the quarterback. He's playing zone. The minute he sees Mike McMahon look to his left, Tatupu gets a jump on it, undercuts it, intercepts it.
But at the moment, they are the kings of the East, 21-0.
You know, and I'm not sure if we're seeing a really good Seattle Seahawks team or a really bad Philadelphia Eagle team.
Which is an interesting point as Moats coughs up the ball. And will they get another return for a touchdown? Indeed they will. Andre Dyson is going to score his 2nd touchdown of the night. 1 on an interception return, this on a fumble return. The rookie Moats losing the football, and Dyson goes into the end zone.
You're going to see Moats is in a single back here, and and he just goes to make the cutback, and Leroy Hill gets in there and makes the hit and just knocks the ball out of there. I mean, there was no play. Leroy Hill gets penetration right there. And as he goes to make the tackle, he takes his left hand and strips it right out of Ryan Motz's hands. But that, you know, as a back, when you see that and the guy gets penetration, you just have to put both arms around it and just go down.
25-yard return. The extra point is good. That's 6. And again, Dyson, who had shortness of breath after the interception return, this time he comes hobbling off the field. So for Dyson, a tough physical night, but what a monster night when any defender can score 2 touchdowns, as he has done tonight. But this is a different matter here.
Yeah, he picked the ball up. I mean, the guy who really made that play was Leroy Hill.
A couple things didn't go right. That's why they play the preseason. Another miscue. There's a fumble in the end zone. It'll either be a safety or a touchdown, and it's a touchdown for the Seattle Seahawks.
Phillip Rivers never got the handle on the football. Came out from center. I think he collided with the running back and then was never able to get control of the ball again.
Rocky Bernard, his first action of the preseason. He's been injured. Pretty nice way to come back.
Oh,
nope,
the ball
never got
just
the handle.
slips out. See, again, they had the blockers out in front of Michael Turner. Phillip just couldn't get the handle on the ball to give it to the burner.
Do you think Turner was expecting the ball? It almost looked like it was maybe a play action, hard to say, but whatever the case was, it's 7-0 Seattle. And lightning quick speed, 14:48 here in the first quarter.
Sorgi out of the shotgun. And this time it's again Julian Peterson, uncontested. That sets up the interception here by Mike Green, the former Chicago Bear, and the touchdown. Sorgi had a rocky performance last week. In fact, early on, they got him in the end zone for a safety. Didn't look good. Now tonight he has a pass knocked down and then has this one picked off and run in for a score.
Yeah, I was talking about Julian Peterson on the last play, the pressure that he put on Peyton Manning. That time he comes in on Sorgi, he's not even blocked. I mean that is going to make any rusher look good or any quarterback look bad when you have a speed rusher from the outside and you don't even block him. And his doctors told him that he couldn't be in the barrel tonight.
And here's Cutler under pressure and just throws it up for grabs, and that is intercepted and run in for a touchdown by Darryl Tapp. And when you play in your first game in the NFL and you're under duress, and Bryce Fisher was the first guy to get in there, and then they spun him around, and he just threw it up, and it was tipped and intercepted, and a 25-yard return by Darryl Tapp, a rookie from Virginia Tech, first touchdown of his career.
You know, and the one thing you do when you play the Denver Broncos, this backside end is always going to take care of the bootleg. And whether it's Jake Plummer or Jay Cutler, you are not going to let them get outside you. Now, I mean, stating the obvious here, when you get in this situation, as any quarterback, rookie quarterback, medium quarterback, old quarterback, just go down.
Josh Brown for the point after.
Of all the things that you couldn't do on that play, Jay Cutler did it.
And Seattle is within 3 because of it.
See, if you watch Bryce Fisher here, he's not going to be blocked because everything goes away from him. See, everything starts this way, and you expect him to go for that run. Now, if he has good speed and good agility and checks it and doesn't let you get outside, then you have to do something obviously other than this. But Bryce Fisher is taught, you know, with your speed, you chase down that backside, but you always have control of the quarterback, not letting him get outside.
3rd and 10. Just outside his own 30. Bollinger out of the shotgun. Throws to the near sideline, and he is gone. It's picked off and going the other way for the Seahawks is Kevin Hobbs. Touchdown Seahawks.
Now out of the shotgun on 1st down. Warner steps up, throws too high, and it's intercepted. Marcus Trufant racing down the sideline. And Trufant is gone all the way. Touchdown.
interception of the game for the Seattle Seahawks. Marcus Trufant with an 84-yard return for a touchdown. J.J. Arrington had a shot at him but missed, and Trufant takes it to the house.
Well, this is the second interception Kurt Warner has thrown in terms of overthrowing his receiver. And that one just comes out of his hand early. Trufant is right there to get in. Now watch the stutter right here on Edgerrin James. You didn't see it? There's Trufant right here. He just broke on that. He read the eyes of Kurt Warner the whole way because he clearly let Preston go deep. Kurt did telegraph that a little bit. Trufant just read his eyes in the zone coverage. And then again, that beautiful little stutter step on Edgerrin James, which allowed him to go the distance.
One of Kurt Warner's interceptions in the game was at the end of the first half on a Hail Mary, but it is a career most in a game.
Well, you remember the first interception he threw in the game, though, he overthrew his receiver. Just came out early, and the ball sailed on him.
Under 6 minutes. Collins wings it downfield, intended for Santana Moss, and way off target, intercepted by Trufant. And Trufant has blockers in front. Trufant down the sideline for the touchdown. Marcus Trufant, 78 yards with the interception for the touchdown.
Santana Moss on the outside tried a little out and up move. He saw that Marcus Trufant didn't bite on it, and he just basically quit on the play. He said, I know Todd Collins is not going to throw this ball because Marcus Trufant didn't bite on it. Collins threw it anyway. Trufant basically made a fair catch back there and runs it all the way. I mean, at the very least here for Santana Moss, you have to go make this tackle. He never saw the football. He made an assumption about his quarterback that he wouldn't throw it because he didn't bite on the out and up. And Trufant, instead of just catching it, he caught it and scored.
Meanwhile, Stephon Hire, the rookie right tackle of the Redskins, was shaken up on the play as the congratulations continue. The first interception in 10 years for Todd Collins results in a Seahawk first down or touchdown. Paul Allen, the owner of the Seahawks, who had a hand in the design of this stadium, which is so loud. It was designed to help funnel the noise down to the field.
It works.
Intercepted. Babineau. Collins has taken out Babineau for the touchdown. "57-yard return for the touchdown. And the celebration begins in earnest in Seattle.
Well, you asked Joe Gibbs last night, do you think this team has anything left? Is there anything left in the tank after winning 4 straight and all that this team has been through emotionally? And what did he say?
He didn't know.
I don't know. You know, and I think that maybe it just was finally over. And unfortunately, the box score tomorrow for Todd Collins is not going to look very good with those 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns.
Instead of punting from the end zone, Gore loses the football. It's recovered by Trufant. He fumbles. It's still loose. And it's taken into the end zone for a touchdown by Craig Terrell. You think they wish that the taunting penalty was not called and they punted out of their own end zone? 14-0 Seahawks.
We talked about the penetration. If you watch Howard Green right here, the penetration he gets upfield this way. Okay, now all of a sudden Frank Gore trips up there. He goes and knocks the ball out, and then the fiasco starts with the ball being loose. But that play right there that Howard Green did is what we're talking about. You can't let the defensive line get penetration, or you're going to have big turnovers and big problems. Just watch this. Frank Gore cannot go and do anything. He can't cut right or left. Green is right in front of him, and that's what causes this fumble.
He's forced to make a decision, 2 yards deep in the backfield. He's trying to do the right thing by getting the ball back into his outside arm, by moving it from the left side to the right side, and he gets hit.
And this could be an experience. 4th and 4 for the 49ers. Intercepted. This one will go the distance. Josh Wilson. But look at that. Almost caught him, but they mark it a touchdown. Vernon Davis with the great effort, but it's a touchdown for Seattle. 76 yards on the interception return on 4th and 4. And that's the first interception of the year for Josh Wilson.
That's Josh Wilson right there. He's going to work back in the zone, and the ball is just going to be delivered behind. I believe that's Brian Johnson, delivered right behind him. That's just a poor throw. It's either a poor throw or communication between Brian Johnson and JT O'Sullivan. The only thing you can think of, did JT expect Brian Johnson to sit down in that? Excuse me, that was Arnaz Battle. Did he expect Arnaz Battle to sit down in the coverage because it's zone? But now all of a sudden, Arnaz Battle still moving, ball's thrown behind him, and these are the plays that Mike Holmgren was talking about.
Pennington works out of the shotgun on 3rd and 10. Steps up and lets it go. It's intercepted by Jordan Babineau. He's going for a touchdown. Beautiful play by Jordan Babineau. There was some pressure on Chad Pennington, a man who doesn't throw many interceptions. That was only the 5th interception thrown by Pennington this season. Good return by Ted Ginn, but the Seahawks are back in the game thanks to their defense.
An empty set for Bulger. Ball's out. Seattle recovers. Derek Stanley dropped it. Jordan Babineau was there to scoop up the fumble and get into the end zone for the Seahawks. A 23-yard fumble return for touchdown.
And that's been something that has really killed this team all year. But in this 7-game losing streak, they've turned the ball over 22 times. Here comes Stanley. Again, a guy that's not really used to carrying the ball handed to him. Rather, that ball just gets punched out. Looks like that's Lawrence Jackson coming from the backside, just punched it out of there.
Well, only Atlanta and Denver had fewer takeaways than Seattle, but that was a big one here this afternoon.
3rd down and 6.
Get rid of it.
Fumble. It'll be picked up. This is Reed. It's a foot race. Folks, he is going to go the distance. An 80-yard fumble recovery return. Oh, the big man running.
How about that? We said that bad things happen when the quarterback holds onto the ball too long. You got to get rid of it. Stripped from behind. Nick Reed picks it up, and he's smiling all the way. He turns and look, no one's going to catch you. Just don't pull a hamstring, and it's going to be a touchdown.
Oregon's all-time sack leader, 7th round rookie.
3rd and 10. Your best idea is to try and isolate Calvin Johnson and give him room to work. He's in the slot this time with Bryant Johnson up top.
They have 2 downs to get 10 yards. No timeouts remaining. They fake the handoff, and this pass is intercepted by Josh Wilson down the sideline. Wilson will score. Touchdown.
Josh Wilson with a 61-yard interception and return for a touchdown. Matthew Stafford throwing 5 interceptions.
Matthew Stafford definitely wants to find Calvin Johnson on this play. Stays with him the whole way, except Calvin's working inside and Matthew's throwing the ball to the outside. See, watch. Johnson's working in this area. Watch where the ball's thrown. Josh Wilson in position, carries it back to the house.
Second time he has returned an interception for a touchdown, 61 yards. So on a day in which the Seahawks came in with only 3 interceptions, they pick off 5 today, 2 by the middle linebacker, David Hawthorne.
Went for the field goal and missed the field goal, so they're going to go for it here. Plenty of time. Tipped up, picked off. Josh Wilson will go the distance, 1 man to beat, and he does. Touchdown, Seahawks, no flags down. It will count 64 yards. Tipped by Kelly Jennings. The second interception of the year for Josh Wilson.
A great play by Kelly Jennings and great finish by Josh Wilson. But if I'm Kyle Boller, I'm a little upset with my wide receiver, Donnie Avery. You got to fight for that ball on 4th down. And right there, what happened, Kelly Jennings just fought a little harder than Donnie Avery. You cannot wait for the ball at wide receiver. You got to throw in some tight windows. Kyle Boller trusted Donnie Avery, and Donnie Avery let him down right there.
With a chance to get points, the worst possible thing happens for them.
And that's what I'm talking about. Right there, as a wide receiver, you got to fight for that ball. Your quarterback is entrusting you to win the one-on-one matchup, and part of that trust is the worst thing that can happen is it's an incomplete pass. The absolute devastating thing is that it's a touchdown, and Kyle Boller right there likely really disappointed with himself, but also Donnie Avery. You got to win those matchups, and as a quarterback you have to be able to trust the fact that your receivers will.